Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle reading with myself and Ghostdragonzw. It has been 2 very long weeks. I tried to get the stream going several times in that time, but there was just always something that came up that just didn't work out. I have been feeling so much better though, except for today. Today, my left eye and my left nostril just kept running all day long. And now I'm feeling kind of like tired and woozy again. So I really hope that I'm not getting sick again because I lost so much work, so much money, just like very frustrating. It felt so good to be back to work the last 2 days, yesterday and today. And I even got some work done Wednesday. But the family's feeling better. You guys were so sweet. I finally got to all the comments wishing us well. And it was just overwhelmingly kind, and I do appreciate it. I see my Wi-Fi already acting up, so just let me know if there's any point where you can't hear me. If you can't see me, like, that sucks, but as long as you can hear me, we'll be good to continue going unless it gets like really bad. Just keep me posted, keep me updated if anything goes wrong, which you guys always do. I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to come in. Happy New Year. I hope you all had an amazing holiday regardless of what you celebrated. I had a good one. Everyone was sick, so I didn't get to cook Christmas dinner until like 3 days later, and then I messed up the stuffing, and so I'm going to remake the stuffing this weekend because I love my homemade stuffing, and I just put way too much sausage and not enough cornbread, so yeah. I do have a new deck, the Time Traveler's Oracle. And my mom, for Christmas, instead of me deck, she got me some really beautiful amethyst jewelry. But she did get me a $25 Amazon gift card, so I'm going to buy a new deck with that as well. And then the last time we streamed, we went for 4 hours last time, by the way, which was really awesome. The last time we had the new deck, Cowgirls and Aliens. Yeah, so I'm sure there's more for me to say, and I'm sure I'll think about it as we move along and move through this live stream. Oh, Mama Cindy, what is up? Happy New Year. Blue Crossroads, I'm so sorry you feel icky. I really hope you don't have the flu that's going around. And it is going around. I thought it was just like us, but it turns out it's a thing. It's all over the country. I think it's just regular old flu, but it's been so long since I got the flu that I was feeling like it was something much worse. I got to a point where I literally cried because I thought I was feeling better, but I was still like, didn't want to get out of bed, didn't eat. I must have lost 8 pounds in that week, 12 days I was sick because I could not eat. And I remember crying and just thinking, I'm never going to feel normal again because I thought I was better. But I was still like mentally so fogged that I was like, I can't live like this. They're going to have to give me medication. Like I was really freaking out because I just wanted to feel normal again, or at least my normal, right? Miss Pixie, happy belated birthday. I can't apologize enough for missing it. Ghost Dragons even reminded me, and I've just been so distracted. RJ's fever was getting at some point so high that we thought our thermometer was broken. I went and spent like almost $50 on a new thermometer to make sure that we have like a really good one in the house for emergencies. His fever was hitting like 103.7, really, really high. And it was just really scary for a little while there. He's back to school though, which is good. One thing I will say, and you'll have to excuse me, is that my I took some Zyrtec and my eye stopped watering, but my left nostril is still going crazy to the point where if you see me doing this, that's just my blending brush and it has makeup on it, so it'll like cover up when my nose gets red. That's what I'm doing. I'm powdering my nose, so to speak. We still only have a couple people in here, which is a little weird, but we did start a few minutes early, so hopefully it'll pick up and we can get started. I'll start in 5 minutes anyway. If Semper Fi, Black Dragon, what is up? I'm glad the holidays are over. Like, I enjoyed them. If everyone wasn't sick, I had to cancel mine and RJ's overnight trip to Great Wolf, which that was so sad. Like, I don't know when I'm ever going to get that kind of money to take him again, but hopefully we can do it soon. He was so devastated, but the day that we were supposed to go, we were going to leave at noon, and he woke up that morning at like 7:30 just burning up, and there was nothing I could do. Netter! Having internet issues. Well, Mama Cindy, if we call your name and you don't answer, we'll put you aside for a timestamp. I know you're paid up for several weeks, so don't worry about that. If you can't get back in or if you don't hear your reading, we'll make sure that we timestamp it for you if you're having those issues. We're gonna do, I forgot to bring Steven in. Because I can see him. I'm talking to you guys and looking at him as though he's on right now. I was just like gonna tell him we're gonna do this, that, and didn't even realize because I'm looking at him myself. I'm telling you, I'm still not 100% all here. You're on mute.
No, I'm glitching too, so bear with me.
Okay, I was just going to say we might as well just get started and I'll, I'm sure more people will come in.
Sure. Well, there's 9 people in here. I don't know why nobody's talking.
We're going to timestamp Neil. She had her molar or molars pulled, and I know that's super painful. So
yeah,
Casey definitely needs one. I was doing her reading. I've been doing personal readings for 4 or 4.5 years. And I was doing Casey's reading yesterday. It ended up being like 37 minutes, 27 minutes and some change. And the whole reading was fine up until 24 minutes and change. And then it just muted out. My audio went out, which has never happened before. There's no reason for it to have happened because I used my phone. So strange. I told her I'll redo her last 2 cards, but that was pretty crazy. So, we're going to do a timestamp for her tonight as well. And then hopefully everyone, our normal crew, comes in. Why don't we start with Mama Cindy while she's here and while her Wi-Fi is good. So we're going to use Angels and Ancestors. Cliff Clark, what is up? Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Michigan UFO, what's up? Yes, yes, yes. He's like, I haven't pissed anyone off in 2025 yet. And I'm like, I can feel it in the air tonight, literally, because I'm streaming. Like, I always make someone mad, whether it's someone in the stream or someone who listens afterwards. You guys, it's getting so bad that my shorts where I was using sign language to sign Mama's boy, somebody actually made fun of my tongue. My tongue. That's how much some people hate me. So, and it's always like random people. They're like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but is that what your tongue looks like? That's nasty. And I'm like, how did you even see my tongue? Roger, what's up? Yeah, my tongue. I do know sign language. I went to school, high school in Midland Park, New Jersey, and that town is only 1 square mile. So it wasn't really big enough to be able to afford its own high school, but we had a high school. So what the school did was bust in hard of hearing. I still do it, hard of hearing, and deaf kids from other districts and other towns, and the funding from them kept our high school running. So all throughout my 4 years of high school, the electives were Spanish, French, or sign language. And I took sign language all 4 years. I still remember how to speak it fluently, but I can't understand when someone's speaking it to me. Oh, nice. Thank you. That's awesome. I don't know how to do any of that. My friend John's supposed to work with me Sunday for me to be able to do reaction videos. Like, we're going to do a video chat. He's going to walk me through how to do it on YouTube and TikTok because that's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I appreciate it. When you guys share out, do things like that. That's amazing. All right, let's read for Mama Cindy so nothing happens with her Wi-Fi here. We're supposed to be getting a blizzard at around the 9th. I love this card. I love the color green, right? And emerald is my favorite. So we have the Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. Also, we're going to timestamp Aunt Edna if she doesn't make it in. Blue Crossroads, you're raising your hand? Yes, sir. All right, Mama Cindy. Listen to what's coming up within you and what's being shared with you by trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to healing information. Healing angels can help you heal emotionally, spiritually, and physically with their energy, but they can also direct you towards information that will help you to return to wholeness. When this card appears, information is being revealed that can help heal an aspect of your current situation, whether that be your health, relationships, or even your career. So be alert for this. The medicine guardian has I don't know how to pronounce this word, guys. Catechus, a healing wand, which represents the capacity to heal with the power of will and desire, and a chalice, which represents returning to a state of wholeness, a state where your cup is no longer full, but overflowing with goodness. The emerald color of the card represents the healing rays of Archangel Raphael and his healing angels. You are better looking than the guy on this card, but I like the green. Cindy, you are being exposed to information and insight that will have a dramatic healing effect upon your life. If you are working through something mentally or emotionally, know that there are spiritual energies supporting your healing. If you are working through something that is physically challenging, pay particular attention to information that's coming to you that feels inspired, insightful, and warm. It will be supportive of your wellness. Your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness once more. So there's something in your that's going on in your life right now, Mama Cindy, that I feel like you can't really get a handle on, whether it's your health, some sort of dramatic situation playing out with like your kids, or there's something that like normally you've got this, you're the caretaker, you're the one who maybe makes all the plans or does all the thinking for your group. Every group has one. But there's a situation, and I do feel it's personal. So I feel like it's something you're going through. So I'm going to use your health as an example. It may not be that, but so you're not feeling well, and it's unlike maybe anything you've ever felt before. For whatever reason, whatever this is that's going on with your health in this example, it's like you just don't know what else to do about it. It's a hopelessness. Even if you don't recognize, what's up, Mark, the feeling as actual hopelessness, I feel like that is what you're walking into in the next couple of weeks, because it's like, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried that, I've tried this, and nothing is helping me here. Nothing is working. And the reason, perfect. Thank you, Mark. The reason for that is because, believe it or not, your guides and your angels, they're trying to get your attention. See, this is medicine guardian, but that doesn't have to mean, and I'm sure you know this, medicine, you're taking medicine. It just means healing energy. Your angels and guides, your whole spirit team, your ancestors in particular, I'm seeing, they're trying to get your attention to give you the answers you crave. Because using your health as an example again, let's say you go to a mainstream doctor. I feel like they're going to have a lot of the answers. So I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. This information is not, to replace medical advice, but they don't have all of the answers, because what's going on with you is actually spiritual, more spiritual than it is physical, mental, psychical. Is a word, but it sounds like it is one, so I'm going to use it. Miss Pixie, thank you. Nutslap, what's up? It would be your health. Okay. Just understand that you should definitely keep doing what you're doing. You should keep going to the doctors. You should keep taking the advice that you trust from family, friends, and medical professionals. But there is something spiritually off. And in order to figure out what that is, you have to start paying more attention to your guides. And I know people are like, Gemma, I don't know how, I'm not the person who can meditate. I don't know how to pay attention to my guides. I don't remember my dreams. I don't remember my dreams either. And I cannot meditate for a minute at a time. I get it. Do you know how I know when my guides are trying to get a hold of me? I mean, I can reach out and touch them, but I don't always do that. I'm distracted and don't hear them and see them too. Let me tell you how I do it. Whatever your intuition is telling you is what your guides are telling you. Whatever your conscience is telling you is what your team is telling you. Pay very, very close attention to your instinct and intuition in the next 2 weeks, specifically regarding your health, but in all areas of your life. Once you start to take those cues and work with them and move forward with and within them, you're going to be perfectly fine. You're going to have the situation figured out. As far as your health, I do see some sickness. I do see something more serious than, say, the common cold, but I don't see anything, deadly or anything infesting your body. I do see just some regular sickness or some pain somewhere. I don't know if you have anything with your foot, but I am seeing that area of your body. So just be more cautious in the next couple of weeks, specifically when there's snow and ice and everything on the ground, okay? Anyone that I missed, by the way, welcome. So my eye stopped tearing. It was tearing all day. I took some Zyrtec, but my left nose, I call it my left nose, my left nostril is still dripping. And I know that sounds gross, but I just have to tell you because I have to apologize because I am going to have to keep wiping and patting my nose, and that's why I have my little powder brush here. So, oh my God, New England Dirt Roadie, I know, I hate the snow. Wayne and Michelle, I don't know if Michelle's listening. If you guys want readings, let me know. Who's next?
You ready? Blue is next.
All right, Blue. So I just want to tell you guys too, I want to thank you guys so much. Thank you, Wayne and Michelle. I appreciate you guys. So the Monday after we streamed last time, 2 weeks ago, my book released and I was so sick. I was in bed all day. I couldn't even promote it. And within 11 hours, you guys had it to #1 on Kindle. So thank you guys so much for that. If you didn't pick up your copy of Gone Mysterious Disappearances, Volume 4, please go ahead and do that. Kindle, paperback, Audible. And if you can't remember the name of the book you're looking for or want to see my whole collection, just go to Amazon and type in Gemma Jade books. So Wade and Michelle, let me know if you guys want to jump in. And Blue, I'm going to use the new deck, the Time Traveler Oracle. You're very welcome, Mama Cindy. Thank you for all of your beautiful memes. I don't even think I got to see all of them because I can't accept tags and I don't know where to go to check my tags, but I just love them. They make us smile. RJ loves that he's a part of them. And I just think it's so
Facebook
sweet.
Page.
Yeah, I don't always, when I'm on Facebook, it's usually to post and leave. Okay. We'll get Michelle in.
I've got them both written down together, so.
Okay. Card number 17, Blue, and this definitely sounds like you right now. It is the card of Grounded, Uluru, Australia. The scenes on these cards are just beautiful. This is the time to ground yourself with what is important in life. Let everything else go. Relinquish the flurry and the busyness of life. Release worrying about the future and let go of rehashing over your past. Take time to be present and reflect. You need to ground your energy to take advantage of the opportunities awaiting you. You are called to dive deeper. Go beneath the surface to discover hidden gems. Take a second look at things that you may have dismissed the first time around. Explore your roots to uncover what is valuable to you in your life. Honor your ancestors. There may be something that seemed closed and forgotten that is ready to open. Stand firm in what you know to be true. Being grounded means that people or situations that are unsupportive will never sway you. Stand up for others who can't protect themselves. So, what's up, Miss Moochie girl? So good to see you. So, you always do stand up for others. I think a lot of us in here, that's kind of been like our superhero power our entire lives, right? Standing up for those who don't or can't or won't stand up for themselves. I want you to be careful with that in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to start there because this is an important message. And I've been getting it for a while. And I've been actually messaging when we talk privately. I do like kind of bring this up sometimes. It's because it keeps coming up. Somebody is looking to manipulate sympathy out of you. And it's like it's someone from your past. And it's like they see you happy or they heard a rumor you're in a new relationship or there's something that it's like, and now they're thinking that like you were taken from them, even though that's not true because you're a single guy. I just see this very jealous, like vengeful energy of like, you can't have any interest in anyone else. I need you to be there when I call you, when it goes south with so-and-so. Like, I hate that kind of person, but you're dealing with that. Be careful that you're not swayed by the damsel in distress. You know, no judgment that you are. Ghost Dragons usually is too. a lot of you guys are, because you're light workers and healers and you're kind, right? But don't allow yourself to be manipulated. For some reason, I see it being very easy to do in the next 2 weeks, probably because your defenses are down because you're not feeling well. Also, I just feel like this is the universe kind of giving you a pat on the back and telling you, like, take care of any unfinished business in the next couple of weeks. There could be something, and I'm not talking about like this toxic ex-partner or ex-friend or whoever, something else that could come back to haunt you. So make sure, like, any contracts you signed, I know you just bought a beautiful house. Make sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. It doesn't have to be about the house, just like anything you agreed to do or you signed a contract for, or maybe something at work. If you messed up, or I think you mentioned that you behaved in a way that wasn't really you. I don't know what that meant because we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. I'm just saying, like, make sure you've got all your bases covered, because something big is coming in the next few months, and you want to make sure that nothing destroys everything that you worked so hard for, especially a seemingly meaningless mistake that could have been easily avoided if you had just, like, reread something, or, didn't ghost someone and, like, told them the reason you don't want them around. Like, things are going to be going so well for you this year, as far as what I've been seeing, and like what I see, just how I see you personally, the things that you're doing. But it's like, you don't want something small to come in and wipe all of that away, even temporarily, simply because you made a dumb mistake and didn't own up to it or didn't realize it, right? So without dwelling, go through and, like, see if there's anyone you need to make, like, amends to, or anyone you need to have a conversation with to let them know your boundaries, things like that. Let's do, I'm sure you guys won't mind, Wayne and Michelle. Latro, hey! All right, so Miss Michelle, I'm going to use Mythical Goddess. What's up, Bat Mom? I hope you got your reading yesterday, and I hope the audio didn't pop out, because the person whose reading I did before you, the last 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes of their audio just was gone. And that's never happened before, and I don't think it's happened since, but if it did, let me know, because I'll have to redo the end of it, which I can easily do. But by the way, thank you for purchasing a reading, Bat Mom. That really did help me out. I do appreciate it when you guys are able to do that. Sorry it took me so long, but I smelled bacon. Well, Black Dragon's in the room, so is bacon. All right, this message is for, you're more than welcome, Miss Michelle. Now the gang's all here. I don't think Aunt Edna's going to be in because she is not feeling well. Tennille had to have a molar pulled.
She's here. Edna's here.
Yeah, Edna's here? Oh, I didn't see you.
She came in. She's a little sleepy, so I tried to may sneak her in a little early.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever we got to do. Hey, Miss Jules. It's funny. I was just thinking of you because I was like, the gang's all here. And then I was saying to myself, not Jules. Okay, Michelle, you got the 2 of Fire, which is the card of centering. One of the reasons I love this deck so much, and this deck was a gift years ago from Miss Pixie. Hey, Max. Is because it's Oracle, but it can also read as Tarot or Tarot. So that's the cool thing. Each of these cards kind of correlates to a tarot card. Oh my gosh, Jesus. All right. Jules, hold that thought. We'll talk about it a little bit. So, Michelle, this regally robed woman is spiritually centered in her world. She holds the radiant wisdom of life in her hands. She is the powerful example of living and functioning from one's core point of spirit. She has unwavering faith and self-discipline, unmoved by the illusions of the world around her. Regardless of the inner turmoil or chaos that the world brings, she is centered in the light of consciousness within the darkness of the world, unshakable and serene. This radiant woman is here to honor the power of light within you and to remind you not to underestimate its influence. You are light. It's your true center. Continue to make time to develop your spiritual practice daily. As you dwell within the core of who you truly are and let it expand, you live in the world with genuine power and authority, in communion with Source, centered and unmoved by the chaos of the world. Everyone has chaos and in their life, and everyone's life can get hectic and chaotic from time to time. Some people more so than others, right? But Michelle, I do feel like in the next couple of weeks, you're coming into a time where it's going to seem a bit more chaotic than normal. Not bad, not dark, not evil, not negative, just a lot more maybe to do or a lot more that you're focusing on. This is the universe telling you that while in your power, which you definitely are, you don't have to worry about so much. And while that's easier said than done, sure, in the next couple of weeks, if you focus on the major things, the smaller things will fall into place. Also, it's very important for you in the next 2 weeks not to let toxicity, narcissism, anyone lower vibrational, dare I say evil type people get under your skin. I do feel like this could have something to do with the internet, or it could be some other form of electronic communication. So people in chat, trolls in the comments, I just see it getting to you more than it normally would in the next couple of weeks. And that's because your defenses are down because you're focused on so many other different things, right? This is the universe telling you that you are going to come out on top of, like, there's a situation. I keep hearing desperate, right? So there's a desperate situation that you either are or will be in a week or two really like worried about, concerned with. Just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? All of the things. This card is saying you don't even have to worry. You will worry because you're human, but it's going to work out fine and for the best. And you're not even really going to have to do anything because it's meant to work out. You're meant to go through whatever this is with whoever you're going through it with so that you can learn a lesson for your soul and move on. It's not meant to affect your life for the rest of your life or completely change your course. It's simply a wrench in the works, quite literally, right? With that being said, don't let your defenses get so down that you allow the things. I was saying before, I don't know if you heard, someone was actually trolling me, making fun of my tongue yesterday. That's how petty and pathetic people can be. But we have to remember how, first of all, how pathetic it is for grown adults to be online bullying other grown adults. And that's usually the response that I give my trolls. But also, like, these people are so angry, whether they realize it or not, that you're doing something meaningful, that they'll find any way they can to try to bring you down and make you upset. So please keep that in the back of your mind and lean on your support system. I only see this lasting like 3 to 4 weeks, this kind of funk, this extra chaos, and like maybe even, again, extra negativity around you. Keep going, stay focused, and understand that even if whatever this is seems so huge right now and insurmountable, all right, it's really not. I guarantee you, I see it, I'm hearing it, they're showing it to me. You can breathe easy knowing the universe is already on top of it and taking care of it. Do your human part, play your human role. You're going to be just fine. Try to relax. No, I think what they were making fun of is, I used to have 3 tongue rings at one time. I'm talking when I was 21, 22 years old. So about 20 years ago. And when I took them out, they're still, it looks sometimes like a big hole in the middle of my tongue. Number 2, I'm anemic. So a lot of the time I get dehydrated. My tongue turns like white. And number 3, I have an extra tooth right here, a fang tooth, and it cuts my tongue. So there's always a cut right there. I don't know if they even saw any of that. I feel like they were just trying to like be mean to me and just like pick the most random thing to make fun of me about. But believe it or not, and they had no way of knowing because I've actually never said this out loud before, I am very self-conscious about my tongue. That's why you never see me stick my tongue out. Even when I'm kidding, I'll go like that. I won't actually stick the whole thing out. It's just a thing. Yeah, Edna, Mike J, so good to see you.
Melissa.
Oh, Miss Melissa. Yeah, I know. I'm so gross, guys. Wayne, we're going to use the classic horror oracle, which was a Christmas gift from Sarah Nutslap. She said I never saw it. Yeah, I didn't think people could, especially on the Mama's Boy video, because I was using sign language. I wasn't really even speaking. All right, if we can have one card, that would be great. Spirit getting ahead of themselves here. People are rude and cruel and mean. I always, my main response, unless I'm having a really bad day, I'll really go after people. But my main response is, yeah, imagine being so pathetic that you're a grown adult trying to bully other grown adults on the internet. LOL. And usually that shuts them up. Ooh, okay. I know this movie, I think. Oh, no, I don't know this movie. What is this movie? It's the Card of Trap. Let's see if you guys can tell me what movie this is. And Petty and Stupid, exactly. At first I thought Candyman, but do any of you guys know it? I'll tell you guys after. It came out in 2017. I mean, I told you not to go into that house, Wayne. Reluctance to disturb social norms is in unfamiliar situations can lead to peril. It can be awkward to remove yourself from circumstances that feel wrong, and it's easy to doubt your own judgment. It feels right to give people the benefit of the doubt and exhausting to do otherwise. But others may be counting on your sense of propriety, waiting to sink you into the depths of their own schemes. Take the advice of a trusted friend. It helps you to have an outside perspective, but mainly trust your instinct. You know when something's wrong. This is actually perfect and kind of goes with Michelle's reading. There is I want to say here, someone's a bully. Someone is very jealous of either the two of you as a couple. I do feel like it has to do with what you're doing on YouTube, on your social media platforms. And I feel like they're going to come, Wayne, in like the guise of a friend, or I see them going like more towards Michelle. This is you stepping in the next couple of weeks and really making sure that Michelle, not to say Wayne needs to check up on you. Please don't take this the wrong way. It's just kind of what I'm seeing. Like, because your defenses are down and everything's so chaotic, Michelle, you may be looking for someone to vent to or talk to a little bit more than you normally would be. So your defenses are down. Wayne, this is you, number one, being there more so than usual, which I know you will be. But number two, like really making sure that you know the intentions of every single person that enters your life, Michelle's life, and your home, right? As far as on the internet, this card is telling you, do not be afraid to give it back to people, to block people, to call people out. And specifically, and maybe more importantly, don't be afraid to say no to an opportunity. In the next couple of weeks, I'm not saying you should say no to an opportunity that's coming in, but if it even feels a tiny bit off, or if there's one little thing that you're like, well, that's just a little thing though, I can see past that, this is a great opportunity, don't do that, because it's going to start with that little thing and it's going to like, spider crack out to be a huge dilemma and problem in your life that you just really don't need. Wait for a better opportunity to come along. Don't just jump on the first one. It's going to be, I think, exciting. Maybe it's something you've been working a long time toward and it's like finally seeming to come to fruition. If that's the case, just make sure, Sharknado, just make sure that you don't like jump the gun just because you really want to get moving like forward with whatever this is already. I forgot to look at what the card was. I think it was called Get Out. Hold on. Yeah, Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele in 2017. It looks like it's a movie like about being in the woods because there's a deer and a rifle. It also looks like it could have something to do with racism. Not sure though. That's right. Your messed up tongue rolls a hard T like nobody. All right, who's next?
Pretty weird movie. Miss Pixie, if she's still in there. Miss Pixie, are you still here, honey? Or are you still having issues?
Well, don't be afraid to do that in the next couple weeks, Wayne. Normally, like, maybe you'd be more cautious about who you block because, let's face it, we do need to strengthen our subscriber count here on YouTube, right? I know how that goes, but that's not the most important thing, right? And I feel like it could get to the point where you're like, man, I've had to block like so many people tonight, how are we going to keep going? It's just a blip on the radar. You guys got some bad energy around you right now. You've got a lot of chaos and toxicity swirling around. I don't think you guys are going to meet the eye of the storm, so to speak. I really do think as long as you guys work together as a team, like you always do, and stay focused on one another and the tasks at hand moving forward, you're not going to end up in the eye of the storm. All right, Miss Pixie, I'm actually going to use Mythical Goddess for you too, since you gifted me this deck. I love this deck. Sharknado. I actually never saw that, but I did see Jamie French's review of Tara Reid movies, and one of the movies she reviewed was Sharknado. I was like, yeah, that's not for me.
It's so goofy.
I'm a real horror movie fan. Though when I was like 9 years old, all we had was like basic cable. Because this was like, when was I 9? 1992. And this one movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, would come on all the time. And, you know, like you couldn't fast forward through it. And we only had like 5 channels in HBO. So I would just watch it because it was on. And I ended up liking it. It's ridiculous.
It's a goofy movie, too. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, my gosh. Wait, really? Maybe that's like where I'm seeing like all the nerves coming from. Do you know what I mean? I do feel like they're going to just like move on. If they are a part of whatever this is. There is nothing that I see, at least in the next month, in either of your futures or your future together, that's like, oh my God, you really have to worry about this. And like, it's all just like basic life stuff. It just seems like it's going to be hitting you guys harder than it normally does. And the good news is, I feel like for the rest of the year, this might be the most that you get bombarded with at one time, at least for the next 6 months. So take it in stride. Do what y'all do. You're survivors. You got this. Earth Women are easy. I know I've seen it, but I can't tell you anything about it. I just remember my sister Carol always wanting to watch it. Dark Star 666, what is up and welcome? All right. So Miss Pixie, you got the 7 of Earth. Men are easy. Well, some of them are. This is Saturn in Taurus. A majestic tree has withered and died, a thing of beauty never able to thrive and bear fruit. In a climate of smog and concrete, the life cycle failed before it could come fully into form. There are times in life when relationships, cycles, and cherished endeavors are aborted, never to come into being, regardless of how much labor and love have nurtured it. Release your attachment to what could have been. It's essential to now face your failures, let them go and move on. Open your eyes to new opportunities before you. So Miss Pixie, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So Miss Pixie, it's like we've been talking about this opportunity for you to grow and evolve and expand in some area of your life, mainly professionally, for a really long time. The thing that I'm seeing here is one of the things, I think, whether you are aware of it or not, that's stopping you from being able to move forward in whatever this is, even though you want it so badly. And, you know, I wouldn't say it's like your life's dream, but it is a goal of yours to be successful in some area. You're allowing failures that have happened in your past to dictate whether or not you take new opportunities in the present, which is really affecting, obviously, your future. Anything you failed at in the past, you were meant to fail at to bring you to the point you're at now. And you know that. I know that you know that, but I feel like it's easier said than like put into practice, or like it's easier to understand when you're explaining it to someone else. And when you have to actually understand it in your own life, it's a lot harder to do. Laura, there's something here that happened to you that you may feel you failed, and maybe you did fail in a way, but I feel more like you were failed. Right? Either someone didn't give you all the information, so you were unprepared, or, you know, somebody lied to you and you got so far and then you got completely let down. I don't really feel like the failure in your past, at least when it pertains to this particular situation, I don't feel like it really was a failure on you. I feel like the people around you, or the people that were supposed to be helping you, supporting you, they failed you. And therefore, you weren't in your power or powerful enough at the time to be able to do whatever this is on your own. But you have to understand, you are in that energy now, whether you see it or not. You have an amazing gift, amazing ability, right? Miss Pixie, I feel like that could also be because, like, I think of this too. When I think of opportunity, I think of somebody offering me something. Right? Like someone saying, I want to offer you this job, or I want to offer you this, that, or the other. I don't think it's like that type of opportunity. I think this is you seizing a moment, seizing an opportunity, seeing your chance and taking it without fear of any kind of failure. Because I feel like if you really think about it, and you may admit this right now, and you may take some time to have to think about it, but I feel like me, there's no judgment here. You might be more afraid of succeeding because then it's like, then what? At least if you fail, you can say, well, at least I tried. But if you become successful, then more is going to be expected of you. Then more, then more. And for me, that's overwhelming. I'm like, maybe I want to stay this tiny little channel and be happy with it. But deep down inside, I know I want to grow and expand and be recognizable is one of my main things. And for you, whatever that dream or goal is, connect with your guides, connect with your team, and maybe do some automatic writing is kind of what I'm seeing you doing. Maybe discuss how you can get rid of this fear of success that has followed you from at least one, possibly even a dozen past lives. In these lives, I see you getting to the precipice, like right to the very top of where you need to be. And then somebody you depended on lets you down, or a relationship fails, or something happens that completely takes you out and you lose everything because of it. This has been an ongoing generational pattern that you have to break this time around. Because if you don't, you're going to have the same struggles in your next life. And who wants that poop? You are strong. You are powerful. You are so incredibly wise. People want to hear what you have to say. They listen when you speak. They take your advice. They see your genuine, true, loving, kind, compassionate, caring, amazing heart, and they will follow you. Whatever this is, please really think about getting started on it. Whatever the goal or dream is, and you're going to see opportunities present themselves, and use your intuition, like I'm sure you always do, to choose which ones are best for you at this time. But do not keep thinking you're going to fail, and do not keep thinking of all the times you were failed and putting those failures on you as though you were the one who failed, because you were not. Honey, I always say poop. It's my thing now.
Christmas.
Who's next?
Mr. Cliff Clark.
Poop backward is poop. Cliff, are you here, hun?
I saw him in chat. He just said something. Well, a while ago, a little bit ago. Let us know you're here.
You know, every time I say poop now, I think of that line from Billy Madison because of you guys, but I hear Michelle saying it instead of Adam Sandler.
Oh, and by the way, hello, Michelle and Wayne.
Well, I mean them from the bottom of my heart, and I know everyone in here agrees, and I know your team will agree with you too. They're waiting for you to reach out. You're reaching out so much, poopily. You're reaching out so much for like for other people, but I feel like it's been a while since you reached out for your own advice from them, right? You represent other people, you reach out to your team, you get the information, you bring it back, you're the messenger. You've got to bring yourself to them now and talk about this. Cliff, if you're here, let me know. Last call until later. Oh, there you are. You're welcome. I'm using Magic of You. Here to raise hell and break stuff. Deliberate dumbing down of the Western mind. Yeah, I started I started saying it because you can like literally get demonetized if you say the actual word, which is ridiculous. If you're a grown adult on a channel with mostly grown adults, you should be able to speak how you want to speak. But all right, so Cliff, you got card number 12 in the Magic of You deck. It's the card of Hex. Be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. Don't underestimate the impact you're making right now. If you sense resistance and are feeling frustrated or angry in the face of it, don't succumb to feeling powerless. The opposite is actually true. The Hex Maiden holds her head high, her demeanor calm. She appears to be in contemplative repose, and from this relaxed, non-reactive position, she can best see and feel everything, and she's well informed. Like her, be on alert, but guard your heart, your opinions, and mask your feelings. Resist the urge to lash out and attack. Stand strong and silent and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. The sun rises on the horizon of the dark sky. The perils of the night are lifting, but there is work to be done to restore balance. It's the winds of change that fan the maiden's hair and stir the obscuring mists to rise up from the valley floor, clearing to show the way ahead. If this card is drawn in conjunction with Ionia, which it's not, remember, when you point the finger, there are 3 pointing back at you. Before you judge others and take punitive action, consider how you appear reflected in their mirror. If you're brave enough to face them, are you brave enough to face yourself first? So there's actually 2 pretty important messages here, okay? The first one I want to talk about is like, you might know that someone's out there talking poop about you, kind of, as Lacho just said, like raising hell in your name. They, run your name through the gutter. They treat you terribly. And like you have come to a place now where even if you don't fully realize it, Cliff, watch your language. You can't say it in the chat either, because if you do, I can get demonetized. It's all right. You didn't know. Just don't curse in the chat. So it's like, even if you're not 100% aware or you haven't accepted it yet, you fully realize that someone has been manipulating and or abusing you in some way, or using you. There's, and I wouldn't say that the person doesn't love or care about you. I just sense a lot of confusion around this person. There could be some addiction involved with this other person. But even if they don't mean it, even if they have all these other excuses, they're an addict, they're confused, they're this, that, and the other, it still doesn't give them the right to do what they're doing. It still doesn't give them the right to treat you the way that they are. And I feel like you're coming to a realization that you can't change people. And I do feel like in the coming month, I'm not going to say weeks, I'm going to say month, you are really going to have to make a tough choice. You're going to have to choose yourself, or you're going to have to choose this relationship. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be it could be a kinship. It could be a friend. It could be anything. Take it as it resonates. Now, on the flip side of that, that's okay. You didn't know. On the flip side of that, listen closely. Remember that the only thing you can control is your reactions. So if someone comes up to you and screams in your face and pushes you, you can control whether or not you physically hit them back, what you say out of your mouth, even if you feel like you can't. I feel like in the next 2 weeks, your team really wants you to make an effort to not lash back out at someone who's lashing out at you. I know be the bigger person sounds super duper cliche, but here's the thing. Once you show the universe that you can control your reactions to toxic, narcissistic, possibly addicted, abusive people, the universe is going to be more inclined to help you move away from those energies. We are all human. We all deserve love, to be treated with love, kindness, and fairness. But here's my thing. We all deserve that until we don't. Once you start abusing others, even reactive abuse is iffy sometimes. And I engage in that a lot, where I try to ignore it, but they keep poking the bear. Finally, I lash out. Then what happens? The whole conversation, the whole argument turns into, look how I'm treating them. And then the whole thing is pointless, because the issue I had in the first place that I brought up that caused them to keep poking at me, it's moot, because they were just looking for a way to blame me and turn the conversation around. If you can control your temper, I'm not even saying you have a temper, but if you F with somebody enough, everybody has a temper. And I just feel like you are at your wit's end. If you can control and keep yourself even in the next 2 weeks, let this other person see that they are not going to take you outside of yourself, that they are not going to make you react in that angry, violent way. I feel like they're going to back down, and maybe you don't want them to leave you alone, but I feel like they're not getting that supply, that reaction. They are going to leave you alone. Or at the very least, look for someone else to get supply from. There's a relationship in your life that I'm talking about here, whatever this is, it really needs to end. And it may not end anytime soon, is kind of what I'm seeing. But I'm just letting you know, in January of 2025, this relationship is not meant to be. It does need to end. I don't feel like there can be a friendship here. Only because I'm getting a lot on the other person. It's like they're just struggling and suffering so badly. Like, I don't feel like this person means to be this way. But again, that's not an excuse to torture and torment and play games with someone else. You understand? So while your heart may go out to them and you may want to just help them, unfortunately, at this time, it's not good for you to do. It's not good for you. The best thing you can do for both of you is to let it go. You do what you want with that. I told you, I think if you ever wanted to text me, I do want to give you a personal, because you and Ange had asked months ago. I said yes and then forgot all about it, but I need a phone number. I have 4 phone numbers for her. I messaged all 4. Nobody ever got back to me. So if you want to email me with your phone number, I can text you and we could set up a personal. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Do I look old to you? Who's next?
Mr. Mark.
Mark, I'm going to use Black Moon Lilith. You and your steaks, you make me so hungry. All right, Sir Mark. By the way, I'll be getting to my emails, guys, Mark, because you said you emailed me something. I'll be getting to those either Sunday night or Monday morning, okay? I just don't have the means to do them on Saturdays right now because RJ's home. So either Sunday or Monday. So if I don't get back to you like tomorrow, that's why. But I will get back to you Sunday or Monday. All right, Cliff. Awesome. Yes. All right, Mark, you got Mars. Drive, energy, and passion. Card number 26. Cliff, you're too much. I like you. I like to meet you in person. Thank you, Black Dragon. Don't panic. No, I know. I call everyone sir and ma'am too. I'm only kidding. I am the least easily offended human being on the planet. All right. Mark, Mars is the cosmic divine masculine and loves to initiate action, lead, compete, and come out on top. If you have felt stagnancy in your life, this card indicates that a breakthrough is imminent. When Mars is present, the universe is ready for you to move forward. A supportive masculine figure could also be coming into your life to assist you. One caveat about Mars energy, the need for dominance and power struggles can come up right now. Remember to practice patience. Guys, don't forget, if you can donate, I do appreciate it. It's one of the only ways I get, actually is the only way I get paid. Book royalties I get every 6 months. So until I get a writing contract, kind of dependent on y'all. You guys were great. You came through for the holidays. I do appreciate everyone who helped me out. Even if it was just with views, you know, getting me that little bit of extra money at the end of the month. Mark, in astrology, Mars is a planet of action, drive, sex, aggression, passion, physical strength, and how we get things done. My Mars is in Aries, right at home. No wonder I'm crazy. In Roman mythology, Mars is the god of war, the military, and agriculture. It also rules over the fire sign of Aries and the water sign of Scorpio. Aries is the explosive and physical action-oriented side, while Scorpio represents the strategic and passionately reactive side. In astrology, it's considered a personal planet, meaning it appears prominent. Oh, no, I'm sorry. In astrology, it is considered a personal planet, meaning that it appears prominent in your outward personality. It can describe how we like to exercise, what motivates us, and how we react in anger. When you're doing something that you're passionate about, it increases your manifestation power. Find your Mars sign in your birth chart and match it in the following list of what drives you. Okay. Yeah, and thank you. I'm starting to see that. It bothers me less and less. All right, so Mars in Aries, which is me, that would be leadership and independence. In Taurus, sensuality and values. In Gemini, speech and communication. In Cancer, nurturing and emotion. In Leo, expression and creativity. Virgo, analysis and organization. Libra, beauty and balance. Scorpio, strategy and intuition. Sagittarius, learning and optimism. Capricorn, structure and discipline. Aquarius, logic and innovation. And Pisces, emotional depth. Mark, prepare for a fiery, passionate time of creation. Sex is a positive outlet for you right now. Max, I was a server for 15 years, and that's where I call everyone honey, sugar, babe, and that's where I got it from. Sir, ma'am. All right. So, Mark, I'm looking at the book as I go through this because there were a couple of things that stuck out. One is a supportive masculine figure. So this could be a friend, a male friend. I don't see this being with a woman with a lot of masculinity. I see this being an actual male figure that you're connecting with, not in a sexual way or in that type of way. I know that you're heterosexual, but just in a way of like camaraderie or like, I see you going, whew, thank God so-and-so's here. Thank God Bob's here. He'll take care of me today. I know with where you live, you do need assistance a lot because of your health issues. I feel like this is someone who's going to be offering that kind of assistance. What the universe is saying is don't let, just like I told Cliff actually, so maybe this is going to be our theme, don't let a-holes and poo-poo heads take you outside of your kindness, okay? You're a calm, kind person. I can't see you really starting much crap with anybody, but I do feel like somebody has you in their sights, and for whatever reason, they don't like you and they're going to come for you. I don't say this to make you nervous. I don't see it being a physical thing. I just feel like somebody is purposely going out of their way to get under your skin, but the reason they're doing it, can you guys still hear me? Particularly in the next couple of weeks, is because they see that it's getting to you. All right. This is what you would want to talk about and like hash out with the male figure in your life. This person was sent by you and by them while you guys were in spirit for you guys to meet at this time. It might be someone you already know that you're just starting to get to be friends with, or I do feel a little bit of a fresher energy with this person coming in the next couple of weeks to a month. Be honest, be yourself. Don't verbally fight back. If someone hits you, that's a different story. I don't see it getting physical though. I just see someone picking on you, trying to talk about you behind your back and ruin your reputation. Like I said, almost the same thing as with Cliff, just a little bit different because you're being told not to address it at all. So just ignore it. They'll move on to someone else. Don't let it get you in an energy where like now you're going to be even sicker. Hey, Jason. Don't let people who don't matter get to you in any way that matters, right? Love you too, Jason. Thank you. Blue, I sure don't. Believe it or not, same with me. Like I will put up with someone's mess for a decade, but once I'm done, there is no chance I will ever forgive you. Yes, Jason, you may. Now, I am charging $2 per card now because I wasn't getting any donations or making any money. If you don't have it this week, that's okay because you didn't know. I decided to be a little bit less stringent with it because people were getting upset. Not everybody has $2 every week. If you're a member, they're free every week when you come in. Who's next?
Jason, Nutslap.
Nutslap, I'm going to use Time Traveler for you as well. Guys, Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'm releasing a part 1 video of, it takes a lot to scorn me though. Do you know what I mean? Like I will literally put up with anything forever. And that's something I'm trying to change about myself and like really enforce boundaries and let people know from the door how I expect to be treated, because I'm never going to ask anyone to treat me in a way I'm not willing to treat them. I'm never going to ask anyone to do anything for me that I'm not willing to do for them. Right? So anyway, we're going to be talking about people who had actual standoffs and battles with extraterrestrials / interdimensionals, right? Not like saw them from a distance or just saw a craft pass by in the sky or like had an encounter they'd forgotten about. This is people who were literally under siege with tons of witnesses by extraterrestrial / interdimensional entities. And I had to make a part 1 because the one story was so long that, and there's more stories. So the one we're focusing on in the first part is the one, some of you might be familiar with it. It happened in Rome, Ohio in the summer of 1981. It's kind of a big case. Happy New Year. Yes. And it's in a lot of books about the subject. All right, Nutslap, let's see. Leah, hi, welcome. So you got card number 15, the card of focus. I am so bad. This card reminds me of Fortnite this season because all the little buildings this season look like that. Nutslap, this card is reminding you to focus on what's worthwhile and splendid. Let go of everything else. The secret behind true manifestation is disciplined focus. What you direct your attention toward is what you create. When you direct your thoughts toward good, you are more likely to attract positive experiences to your life. Even if there are times when it seems that your focus isn't working, things are germinating beneath the surface of your life. If you find yourself feeling scattered, choose one thing and direct all your attention to it. Diminish activities that distract you. They dilute your energy and inner power. Concentrate on what you desire rather than on what you don't want. If you stay focused on one goal, it's just a matter of time until miracles occur in your life. The thing that really jumped out at me here, Nutslap, out of all of this, and there's a few things, but the main thing was concentrate on what you desire rather than on what you don't want. And I say this to you guys all the time. In my video about toxic positivity, I talked about how we can't just manifest by thinking, because our conscious thought isn't the only thing that makes up our vibration. So our conscious thought can't be the only thing that raises it and helps us manifest. But if you're constantly focusing on all the negative things, you're not going to see as much of the positive. And I think this is a very simple message for you, Nutslap, this week. It's like, if everything seems like it's just going wrong and you can't get a break and nothing's going right and you're getting disheartened or have been for a while, like disillusioned, a lot of it has to do with how you're looking at things. Not to blame you. I mean, it is your fault because you charted and scripted this life for yourself. But, to be fair, like, it's really not your fault. You're going through this so your soul can learn lessons. The universe, your team specifically wants to see you start not twisting the negatives into a positive. I don't believe every cloud has a silver lining. Some things are just negative. Bad things happen. And I know that sounds very cliche and stupid, but it is how I feel. If you can just try to see if there could be a positive. Now, one of the positives I always try, and it may not end up being a positive, but it does really help, is when I'm dealing with something particularly painful or frustrating, I will look and see how it all started. What seed or seeds did I plant that landed me where I am? Because it's always a matter of decisions you've made, right? Even if you're dealing with a toxic person who treats you like poop, okay, how did you end up around that person? How did that person end up having access to you, right? And then working it out from there. Nutslap, in the next 2 weeks, try your best to focus on the positive elements of a situation. If some situations have no positive element, take less time worrying about them. Take less time focusing on them. I always tell you guys, you're probably sick of me saying it, but look around your room and in your head or say out loud 3 things you see that are red. Okay, now without looking again, tell me 3 things you see that are blue. Most of you won't be able to do that because I told you to focus on the red. So focusing on the negative, you're not going to see. Focusing on the red, you're not going to see as much as the blue. And if you do, you're not going to remember it that way. Who's next?
I'm gonna do smooch. I sneeze so hard, everything's falling. Smoochy, I got her covered this time.
All right.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Smoochy, Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, on the 9th, I heard we were getting a pretty severe storm. The 7th or the 9th, I'm not sure.
A rough one, folks. So anybody out in the Midwest, please be careful. Anybody in that Kentucky stretch, straight out, please be careful. The ice is going to be super bad. I've been following this storm. It's going to be a big one, folks. So just be prepared.
Laura, mine too. Mortality, card number 42. Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. If that there king was to wake, added Tweedledum, you'd go out, bang, just like a candle. I shouldn't, Alice exclaimed indignantly. When, Jason? Life is, as Tweedledum points out, a strange thing where we can go out in just a moment. None of us knows how long we have, and no matter what we believe or tell ourselves, we're all mortal in this form. This lifetime is just one brief, bright jewel. Alice denies this, but it's the truth. We're all mortals, and we will all pass. We must know this so we can hold on to the precious gift that is this existence. When this card comes, it doesn't mean you're about to die. It's not a card of death, but a reminder of the beauty and fragility of this existence. It urges us all to take this life and make it as beautiful, as meaningful, and as full of adventure as we can. Too many of us live as if this life is a burden, awaiting another lifetime or a quote-unquote heaven, which will save us from the difficulties and challenges of being mortal. Instead of living as if there is forever or a better place to go, or as if other lifetimes or existences in the afterlife will be better, live like this life is all that you have. Live like this is the very best you can ever experience. Live like this is the greatest blessing, the most treasured gift you could ever have been given. Life like this life is heaven. Live like this life is heaven. Another typo. And your very existence is a miracle of creation, because we can and we will all go out like a candle someday. And when that happens, the only true measure of a soul is what we did here with the priceless gift of human life. Divination, appreciation of existence, relishing being alive, making the most of every moment, accepting mortality in ourselves and in others, living in the present, feeling joy at being alive. I've never watched Blondes and Booze. Okay. So, Smoochie, no, this is not a card about you passing away, but it is a card of like the death of your spirit. You're just so down. And that's not a judgment. We all get there, but I feel like, sorry, Max, this is my favorite Oracle artist and my favorite artist in general, Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. She makes little statues. I put them on my Amazon list. I don't have any yet, but I love it. I have a lot of her decks. Smoochie, I just feel like you are wasting your time, kind of. I just said it too, I think, Nutslap, like focusing so much on the negative, and not only the negative, the what if, right? What if X, Y, and Z bad happens? Oh my gosh. And you're like taking yourself away on these journeys in your mind of all the things that could go wrong. And in the process, you're little by little manifesting all of those things going wrong. I can't tell you not to have anxiety, not to be fearful. I don't live your life or know what you feel or go through on a daily basis. What I can tell you is your team is concerned. It's like you're focusing so much on the negative. Not only are you not seeing the positive, you're not seeing some signs that are going on with other people around you. I feel like you're so focused on, I'm trying to see how I should put this. I feel like you're so focused on like your husband's sick, you're not feeling good, whatever is going on with your kids. And it's like, you might not be facing the reality of one of those situations. I don't know which one. I think I do, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure. One of these situations is dire. And you're focusing so much on what could possibly happen next, except for in this one situation where there is something bad that everyone knows is eventually going to happen. I don't want to say too much. Does that make sense? So like you're focusing so much on like, I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm not saying it's true, just an example. Like you don't have a job, right? I know you own your own business, but you don't have a job and you're like, how am I going to pay rent? We're going to be kicked out. And where are we going to go? And how am I going to move my husband? Meanwhile, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, my husband could only have a couple months to live. You know what I mean? This is the universe pushing you to enjoy your life more, not by drinking to excess alone in a room by yourself, even if you find that enjoyable. This is about you going out and meeting other people and doing positive things that make you feel good, things that make you feel complete and whole, right? Things that make you remember that life can also be good. Because at the rate you're going, you're just manifesting all of this negativity around you, and there's really like no room. Like you have, I always say life is like a chessboard, but every single square has a piece on it, which means none of the pieces can move anywhere. That's all negativity in your case. You have to knock some of those pieces off the board. You have to overcome some of these mental and spiritual obstacles to get some of these pieces off the board so the universe can move positivity in. Yeah, and absolutely. This is advice we can all take. I also want you to try to, and I don't live your life. I'm not judging you. I'm not saying how I would even be able to be in the situation you're in. So I'm just telling you the messages. I feel as though when your husband starts to get on your nerves, remember that he doesn't have a lot of time left, because you're going to have a lot of regrets. It's like it's almost like I feel like you're already, Happy New Year, guys. I feel like you're already regretting some things that you need to either talk with him about or like make up for. No, he doesn't get a free pass just because he's sick. But you are more than likely, as far as this timeline, going to be here longer than your husband is. So I feel as though what they're showing me is you offering grace, and how good that's going to make you feel to know that you offered someone who was being terrible, who wasn't treating you very good, grace, because you can't understand what he's going through, right? And if he gets to be too much, you got to tell him you're being an a-hole and I'm not going to talk to you right now. But lashing out and yelling back and all this stuff on, I'm positive. I don't think I know. But it could change in any second. So really, what do I know? I feel like you and your husband have some amends to make and some reconciling to do. Whatever that looks like for you. I don't drink anymore, but I got a bottle of wine for Christmas and I might have a glass. I might have like one drink a year if I'm at like a party or a holiday event or something. To me, that's not losing sobriety, right? I was addicted to heroin and crack. I wasn't really for the alcohol once I started that stuff. So if I have a drink, it doesn't bother me. I don't sit and like, now if I were to get drunk, then I would probably want to go and do other bad things. But I did get a nice bottle of Chardonnay. I'm not big on Chardonnay. I like Riesling and like the sweeter white wines. I hate red wine, but it was free. It was a gift, so I'll take it. Who's next?
Next is Anna.
Anna. I'm going to use Queen Mabe.
You're welcome, Smoochie. I figured you would do the one.
Latro.
My son has friends every year make a new batch of vodka, and they make it flavored. Like 2 years ago, they made a lemon that it was just awesome, and a homemade Long Island iced teas. Where this year they made a peppermint vodka, which is basically peppermint schnapps. Oh, this stuff is so good, and hot chocolate, it about melt your heart.
There are two things that I got so deathly sick on from over drinking in my 20s when I used to drink every night. Rumpelmans and Southern Comfort.
Oh.
I can't even smell them without getting sick. And my really, really abusive ex used to drink nothing but Crown Royal. So that smell kind of, I don't like to use the word triggered because I think it's way overused in our society, but it does kind of gets me anxiety.
Right.
I can't drink vodka. I can't drink clear liquor. I get such a burning and my body gets so hot from just like one Mike's Hard Lemonade that I would have to like run around, like strip off my clothes, run around naked. Like I couldn't drink it in the bars because I would get so hot and it would burn so bad. I would be doubled over in pain. I drank Jack Daniels with Budweiser with a straw chaser. Every once in a
Mark,
while, I'd have some tequila rose.
tequila does that to me ever since my bachelor party. They kind of made me do a shot for everybody that walked in the door. And ever since then,
I knew someone was going to say that.
Tequila.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stephen.
No, ever since then, I can't touch tequila. It just tears me up.
I had some really good tequila at the Christmas party. I had a couple shots with all my friends. I was real sick that night, so it made me feel even worse. But it was actually really smooth. You barely tasted it. She said, "Honey, I ate the worm." I know you, Anna. I know that's right.
Oh yeah,
You got a most prosperous perfection. Expect abundance, appreciate beauty and blessings. And Edna, monetary wealth and general abundance are on the horizon for you now. To usher in these blessings with the greatest possible ease, conjure a sense of expansive gratitude and present moment opulence. When you delight in the bounty and beauty surrounding you, you will naturally attract even more of the same. Now, I just want to point out, this is once again talking about focusing on the positive. The simplicity of this axiom makes it no less true. You become wealthier when you appreciate the wealth you already have. Get that woman of vodka. I knew it was coming. I knew it was either going to be you or Nutslap. You guys know tequila makes her clothes
said it
come
first.
off. Yeah, I saw. And your physical body alone is a luxurious gift. You guys make me blush. When you pay attention to your senses and make a point of enjoying textures, colors, tastes, sound, scents, environments, music, and just the electric aliveness of being in a body, you are, of course, instantly rewarded with pleasure. But you also open up magical channels to receiving more and more such pleasurable rewards. It's true that in your human culture, the topics of wealth and luxury are burdened with complex layers of painful narratives, stories of scarcity, class, greed, entitlement, hunger, guilt, envy, and disenfranchisement. In many cases, these stories are not just stories. They're also real experiences of poverty, inequality, antiquated religious programming, and crushing injustice. You may have had such experiences yourself, or your ancestors may have passed on some of their lingering horrors to you. And I do think it is a mixture of both. Mark, those are good. Yeah. You can honor the truth of these past experiences without unwittingly allowing them to hold you back from receiving the abundant flow of resources that is your due. First, allow yourself to become conscious of the challenging emotions and beliefs you harbor about wealth and success. That is, you definitely should, Anna. People tell me that all the time. Netter says it to me all the time. For example, notice if you feel resentment toward people with more money than you have, if you believe it is intrinsic to your identity to struggle financially, or if you believe that wealth requires a backbreaking amount of work. Look from any and all stories that may be paving the way for disempowerment and write them down. Then question them, dismantle them, and compose new different stories about wealth that empower you rather than keep you saddled with lack. Also, look for the wealth you already have, the clean water that runs through your pipes, the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, and the clothes you especially love to wear. Even if your current bank balance is relatively small, see if you can feel grateful for the money that you do have. Also, look for or cultivate a feeling of bounty when you laugh, spend time with loved ones, and engage in activities you enjoy. Finally, be careful not to measure your wealth against the wealth of others using external indicators of status. The definition of wealth is not the degree to which you can impress others with fancy, stylish, and expensive things. Wealth is simply knowing that by your own intrinsic standards of comfort, stability, and enjoyment, you have enough. Okay, a lot of this does make sense, but the one thing I'm seeing, Jules, that's the first one in a while. So if you've been actually talking this whole time, I haven't seen it. I do see money coming in. I don't know if you would be, if it's enough money that you would be able to consider yourself wealthy after you receive it, but there is some sort of win or a small inheritance coming in for you in the next, I'd say, a couple of months. Okay. See, I'm getting a little bit different message than what's on the card. Okay. Of course, you want to focus on the good things you do have and your own blessings. And I believe you're a person who does that, right? And money means nothing to you. I always say money is paper. If I didn't absolutely need it to pay bills, it would mean nothing. And even when I have money, I'm very free with it because I'm like, there will be more. I feel like somebody is looking at you as though either you think you're better than them or they're looking at you as though you are better than them and therefore wishing bad luck on you. And I know people are going to be like, well, so what if somebody, it does affect you, especially when you're physically sick. When you're physically sick, not only are your physical defenses down, but your spiritual and psychic senses are also dulled and down. Meaning, when you're feeling sick like you are, it's a lot easier for someone's negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, words, actions towards you to penetrate. And somebody is definitely wishing you bad luck. Now, the only reason this person, has any power to do this and have it affect you is because I feel like you're so focused on feeling better and maybe going to the doctors and all the things we do when we're sick. You're not even really, Bat Mom, you're next, hon. You're not even really like thinking about the spiritual and psychic element of it. This is the universe telling you to do that, particularly because you have money coming in. That's just going to throw this. I think I know who this person is because we talk about this toxic person around you all the time, but you never know. All right. I don't know for sure who it is. And very down, having crazy dreams. Pay close attention to those dreams. Again, I'm sure you already do. And also make it a habit to tell yourself positive narratives, to speak positively, even to people you know hate you and who you don't particularly care for, especially in the next 2 weeks. The more kindness you put out, the more kindness is going to be bounced back. Don't go out of your way to avoid people you don't like. Of course, you don't want to let them in your home and let them into your energy. But, if you run into them, be pleasant. People who can't stand you and just want to see you fail hate to see you happy and pleasant. As far as your physical health, I would say, obviously, make sure you keep going to the doctor and following their instructions. I would say if you feel at any time like you need a second opinion, don't be afraid or embarrassed to tell the doctor that you need one. I feel like there could be something coming in, some diagnosis or something, or I just hear you saying, I'm sorry, but can I get a second opinion on that? And then the second opinion turns out that you were right to question it because it's not actually happening. So just putting that out there. I know I love you. I don't know about everyone else. Bat Mom just got off work. All right. So Bat Mom, I'm going to use myths and mermaids. I haven't used this one in a while. Exactly, Miss Pixie. Am I? Oh, yeah, because I keep hearing you think like, I'm hearing your thoughts in my head of like, I know this is a great doctor and I know, they know what they're doing, but I'm going to need a second opinion because that doesn't feel right to me. I'm turning the Wi-Fi off on my phone just to see if it'll help. Because like I said, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we streamed, I was like, I didn't realize having my computer so close to my Wi-Fi router, there's literally like this much space, is like not good for the connection, but there's really nothing I can do because I'm not allowed space in my own house. So I kind of have to carve it out where I can. Start writing your dreams down. Yes, please do that. And go back, write down 5 words, right? The first 5 words you remember when you wake up, or if you remember the whole dream, write it down, write it down. What's up, baby dragon? Not to put you on the spot, Miss Baby Dragon, but I saw your Facebook post. I hope everything's still going okay with the business. Guys, did you guys see my short about the Taiwanese Lay's potato chips? They were so good. Tomorrow I'm going to try the fried crab flavor. Bat Mom, a certain slant of light, card number 28. And I'm already getting the message of this depends on how you look at it, your perspective. So let's see what the card actually says. A pensive mermaid lies in her grassy pond, waiting for an answer to come to her. A grand light shines from above, illuminating her and her surroundings in a moment of divine insight and understanding. Darkness and confusion are commonplace in this world, but don't worry. Illumination is coming in the form of a new way of viewing your environment or situation. Some call it divine insight, others enlightenment. Either way, be prepared for a new perspective. A sudden shift in thinking will arise from the uncovering of unknown facts, opinions, or desires. These new points will help you to understand where you are now and help you to answer some of the questions that have been gnawing at you for some time. Be prepared, though. The illumination may be subtle and easy to miss. Keep your eyes open and your spirit curious so that you do not miss out on the illumination you have been so long waiting for. Bat Mom, you don't know everything. And that sounded so mean. You don't know everything. What I meant is you don't know everything going on in a certain situation. So I feel like you're kind of bummed about a situation or anxious. You're worried, like, how are we going to get through A, B, and C? Or why is this happening? What could I have done to prevent it? What can I do to prevent it from continuing? There's a anxiety-induced or situation here that's inducing a lot of anxiety, a lot of just feeling like really, I don't know what to do about this, helpless, hopeless. Max, you will get one because I'm opening each of the 8 bags that I have of the Taiwanese flavors. This situation, Bat Mom, but I feel like while you're sitting there worrying about it, you might be thinking even in the next couple of weeks, like looking over at like your partner or somebody else involved in it, thinking, why isn't this person as worried as I am? Because they know something you don't about the situation. Yeah. And I feel like deep down inside, you know that. I feel like there's just something off, and there's something off, but you don't know what it is. There could be someone else telling you you're crazy when you bring it up, so you don't want to bring it up, but it's like you know it. You can't prove it. You don't have tangible evidence, but you know it. All right? Keep that to yourself. Okay? As much as you're going to want to in the next 2 weeks, confront somebody when you find out, because you are going to find out. I'd give it 3 to 4 weeks tops, probably much less. Now that you're aware that you're right, you're going to be so laser focused on every little thing. You're going to sniff out the truth immediately. Do not confront this person. Let them get caught with their pants down, so to speak. Let them get caught by being caught up in their own mess. Once you figure out the missing piece here, you're going to understand that there's nothing you can do. There was never anything you can do. And you were pulled into this thinking you could help in some way, or that it's somehow your problem or on you, when really there was nothing you could have done in the first place because somebody close to you caused whatever this is to happen. Inadvertently or on purpose. The problem is they didn't tell you. And suddenly you just have this huge problem that you're trying everything to fix and doing your damnedest and working your hardest. Wondering why the other person doesn't seem so stressed out. That's because they have more information than you. Don't confront them. Let the universe expose them. The situation is going to work itself out without you really having to do much. But once you have more of the answer and you know the whole story, you will be able to make an informed decision on how to handle it and maybe possibly how to fix it. All right? It's not as big of a deal as it seems right now. Once you get the rest of the information, you'll understand from there what I'm talking about. Who's next?
Jules.
Julie girl, I'm going to use ancestor spirit. I'm a knower. Yeah, guys, please don't forget to donate. We got through the holidays. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Now let's get through the groceries. Yes, exactly. What I'm seeing, what they want you to do, and this might be impossible in the situation you're in because it seems like it is really like anxiety inducing. They want you to just like be like as calm as possible and like make the other person think that like you're not even worrying about it, because then they're going to be like, wait, what does she know? Like, why does she? And then that's how they're going to end up being exposed. The less you say about it and the less you let them see you worrying about it, the better. It's going to confuse them and they're going to end up inadvertently or purposely exposing themselves. And I see you getting furious mad, and you have every right to. I don't even see the universe saying like, don't flip out. Like there's nothing like that. It's just like you have the right to be mad. Wayne and Michelle, thank you guys so much for coming in and showing your support and donating and being a part of the chat. You guys are so amazing. Gone Mysterious Disappearances Volume 5 is supposed to be released around, if not on my birthday, March 1st of this year. So maybe we could do like a show around that. And we could talk about 4 and 5. And I'm also, this is for everybody. So good night, Waiting Michelle. I love you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Keep looking in the sky. But everybody else, I'm trying to find, you know how I did a full book on the Fae and the missing, a full book on shadow entities and sleep paralysis, and then a full book on black-eyed kids. I'm looking for another entity that is kind of obscure, but that a lot of people know about, but that there's not that much information about out there. Like shadow entities. Not too many people are writing about them, even though so many people have experienced them. Black-eyed kids, same thing. I need another entity like that. But it also has to be an entity where there's enough that I could write a whole book. I knew you were a Capricorn. In your reading, I kept saying, I think you're a Capricorn. I'm just picking that up. And I'm sure you've said it before. Yeah. Love my Capricorns. Okay. Miss Jules. Respect your physical body. Detox, rejuvenate, relax. The ancestors speak. It's time to pay more attention to your physical surroundings, both your body and the environment where you live and work. Your mortal body is just as important as your spiritual energy. It's important to look after the vessel that carries your soul. Consider how you contribute to your health and to your own well-being. Also, look at the energy where you live and work. Create a sacred space so you can go home to relax and recharge. Divinatory meaning. Attend to your physical, emotional, and mental space. Like a buildup of dust, toxins, thoughts, ideas, and feelings can accumulate and start to dull your energies. Create a bubble in your routine where you can process and release stress, emotions, or physical impurities. Sweat it out in a sauna or with a run or walk in the fresh air. Notice what you are consuming and limit the processed foods, chemicals, or negativity that you're taking in. A cleansing diet or skin treatment will have benefits for your whole self. I don't like cards that talk about dieting and like Melissa Nicole, let us know if you're here. I don't like cards that talk about dieting and like tell you what to put into your body, or like those cards that are like, you need to adopt an animal. Like, I don't believe in all that, right? That's not what we should be here as oracle readers and creators. But what I am seeing, Jules, is that you could either be sick right now, just getting over an illness, but you're going to come back into an illness if you don't guard yourself. First of all, I don't know what you're doing that is taking such a tremendous amount of energy and like strain from you physically. But it's even more than what's going on mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, which also isn't really good right now. You're out of alignment, I would say. Like you're quote unquote so-called out of whack, right? It's not a huge deal, but if you get what I'm hearing in my head, and I'm just going to say it, is like, if you get sick again, it's not going to be good. So this won't be like you're going to get the flu. This is like something like a buildup of toxicity, but it's all coming from anxiety, stress, worry, and either a negative energy or several around you, meaning people, toxic people. You are inadvertently taking on everyone that you come into contact with mess. You have to sage and cleanse yourself and your entire home, particularly paying attention to the corners of the rooms. Stop allowing people you don't know if you can trust into your personal space. Even if you don't let them into your home, if somebody taps you on the shoulder and they've got something attached to them, you run the risk. You run the risk right now in the next few weeks of becoming incredibly physically ill in some way. And the only cure for it is going to be a spiritual one. So you're not even going to be able to go to the doctor. Right, Jules, maybe that's what I'm seeing. I really want you to sage yourself, put some black salt if you have it, if not regular old white or pink Himalayan will work, at the entrances to your home, and then sweep it out the door, okay? Line your property with it. You need to re-protect. Now, I'm not available again till Sunday, but if you want to shoot me a text, I can give you 4 or 5 different ways to re-protect and kind of center your home and property and yourself, okay? Because I see you maybe like sweep it out the door. Lay it down in the line and then open the door or have the door open, and you're at risk here. Your spiritual self is at risk. And once that happens and you become physically sick, it's a million times harder to build either one back up. So please be careful who you enforce your boundaries now more than ever. I don't want to see you come down with any kind of really bad disease or, God forbid, a cancer or something. And I'm not trying to worry you or make you nervous. You know, I would never do that. I try to be as soft as possible in the messages, but I also can't not say it. So I want you to protect yourself. Message me Sunday sometime in the afternoon, anytime. I will get right back to you. I'll give you several ways to protect yourself going forward, to cleanse yourself now, and to cleanse and protect your home and your space going forward and for now as well. Do that. I got you. All right. Are you talking to me? Still smoking? Still V?
No, she's yelling at me only
Oh.
because I was nicking out and I had to do something. Because I've actually been really good today. You know, I only smoked one when we played. I was babying one.
And we played for like 2 hours too.
Huh? Yeah,
I said we played for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm
Jules,
doing really good.
But Jules, you're in remission, aren't you? I need to know that, because what I'm seeing, like, that would make sense if you're not in remission. But if you are in remission, just please be careful. Like, I want to help you, so please text me, because I need you to do this. Like, I don't want to see you get sick, because your defenses are going to be so down. It might be impossible for you to climb out of it. And then you're stuck for years in this cycle of mess and chaos and toxicity. And I don't want to see that. You've come too far. You're a light worker. You're one of my gemstones. We're not having it. I got you. I will help you. We're not letting that happen. Melissa Nicole, let's do Divine Circus.
You're going to go ahead and do her then?
I thought it was her turn.
It is, but I haven't seen her come back in the chat.
Oh, all right. Do a timestamp for her. Yeah.
Okay. Will do. And then after her is my daughter, then New England.
And oh, okay. One popped out. Sacred Fool, card number 28. There's much to be said for common sense, practicality, and grounded approach, especially with spiritual matters and creating a life that fulfills your dreams. But if you're really going to live, love, thrive, and create this lifetime to be original, then you're going to need to be willing to run the risk of being seen to be the fool. Some people will call you stupid, naive, foolish, and delusional if you dare to dream and follow that dream in all the ways you can possibly imagine. If you refuse to give up, even if others tell you that if it hasn't happened by now, it's never going to happen, then you might say you're a child. They might say you're a child, silly, disconnected from what their idea of the real world is. Don't listen to them. They don't understand that the power of the fool is the power of truth. In the court, the fool was the one the king would trust and ask for advice. But why? Because the fool was allowed to speak the truth where others would try to make politically smart choices to win them power. The fool just called a spade a spade. When the fool in you speaks, it's to tell you something true. It might seem inconvenient, frightening, or even exciting sometimes. It might turn your world upside down or inspire you with greater happiness and faith. It's not your job to reason it away or say it's too difficult or dangerous or potentially diluted to act upon that truth. It's your job to remember that the game of life can only be won if you're willing to take the risk and play it. So when the sacred fool is part of your hand, listen up, take a chance, take a risk, and forget about what other people think. Instead, listen to yourself and live true. Yeah, stop. I know that, like, asking people for advice, like, obviously we're human beings, like, we do that. The difference with empaths and light workers is that we hate then not taking the advice because we don't want to make the person feel bad. So we end up taking sometimes ill-intentioned, but sometimes well-intentioned advice, but that we really knew wasn't going to work for us, but we just want to not offend somebody, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, wow, that's great advice. Thank you. You know, I'll see what I'm going to do, right? Melissa, I do feel like you're dealing with a lot of people saying you're the fool, and with everything going on in your one particular relationship in your life. But here's the thing. And I hate saying this because I want you out of that so bad. Don't make major life decisions based on how others are going to think of you. Even the toxicity you're in, you can't leave because other people are bullying you out. You have to really want to. And until you really want to get out, you're not going to really be able to stay out, right? I'm sure at most times you want out, but deep down inside, you may not be ready yet, and that's okay. I do see a lot of danger, particularly physically, for you to stay, and I always tell you that, but the message tonight, as much as I really am a little upset, I even have to say it, do what makes you comfortable right now. Maybe these other people, and myself too, don't know that it would be more dangerous right now for you to leave than to stay. Maybe there's things at play that we don't know about, and that's okay. Good night, Mark. Protect yourself. When you're ready, you'll make moves. Do not make any decisions, for better or worse, based on what someone else really wants you to do. Love you, sweetie. Thank you. Melissa, I am concerned for your physical safety and well-being, not to mention your emotional, your spirit. You're very misaligned, and you can align yourself and, get yourself in tune all you want. But as long as you're near this person who abuses you, you're never going to stay that way. Not a judgment or an indictment, just a fact, just a statement. And we're all here for you. A lot of us have been there, so I'm not judging you at all. I wish you would leave, but I definitely understand why you haven't yet. Who's next?
My daughter. I'm sorry. I had to draw a bite.
It's okay.
You're almost done, actually. You got Ashley, New England, and then anybody you want to do after that, and then timestamps.
All right, cool. Guys, anything you can donate to PayPal or Cash App, I really do appreciate. I hate even saying it. That's why I try not to ask a lot, but this is the way I make a living. So like, the way I buy groceries, the way I pay for my son's lunch, the way I'm able to go and actually get out of the house and do things with my family, that all comes from donations from you guys. I get paid about $120 a month from YouTube, sometimes less. Between the 3rd and the 5th, I get about $60 from Patreon, and that is the money I make all month. So once every 6 months, I get about $150, $200 in book sales, sometimes not even that much. So just letting you guys know, completely transparent. And PayPal and Cash App and Venmo, I get 100%. And when you donate through Super Chat and Super Sticker, which I still appreciate because I know a lot of people, that's the only way you can donate, I only get 51% of that. YouTube takes 49. And actually, I think they take 51 now and give you 49. Not sure about that, though. And you can also purchase spiritual helper boxes for me. You can purchase just the spray, a spray and a roller, a spray and a car freshener. I just don't have a website to show y'all. So that's why you'd have to text and or email me for information. Autographed copies of my books, $25 for any of the books each. Let me know. With that being said, Melissa Nicole, yeah, you were last. You were the sacred fool. It wasn't really much of a message this week, but I still think you should listen to it. Don't be sorry. It's all right. My dad always said Blue Crossroads, and I never understood it. My dad used to talk to me like I was a grown adult because I was like his only friend when I was little. Or the only one he trusted, really, because he's a total Sagittarius. No offense. He would say, patience is a virtue, but an a-hole is an a-hole. You're welcome, Melissa. Yeah, Jules, you definitely do. If I have time tomorrow, I'll text you, but I don't want to make that promise and then not follow through. Baby Dragon, mwah. I'm here. I got you, though. I'm using Mythical Goddess. So glad I found this deck in my stack of 200. Don't forget, guys, personal intuitive oracle readings are also $60. If you want to do a video chat for an hour to an hour and a half, it's anywhere from $100 to $140. Basically $100 for the hour. All right. That is not the right book. Miss Baby Dragon, you got the Maiden of Earth, the card of beauty. This is Capricorn, big Capricorn energy here. The exquisite Maiden of Earth sits in a lush garden at full harvest, radiantly at peace in her element. She is sacred form, embodying beauty, health, and wholeness. At home in the world, she cares for herself and others with intuitive wisdom. Living in harmony with nature, all of life responds to her purity and radiates fruition and beauty back to her. She exemplifies oneness with the natural world and the ease and joy of being in cooperation with nature. The Maiden of Earth is here to encourage you to embrace your beauty and your feelings. Honor your body's wisdom and know that you are one with Mother Nature in all of her facets. She reminds you that your true beauty shines forth as you the world.
Gemma, you're juggling. Gemma, you're all jumbled. You're all jumbled.
I see that.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a minute. No, I'm gonna give it a minute till the Wi-Fi hooks back up, and then I'm gonna go again. Never fails. All of a sudden, too. Can you guys still hear me? All right, I'm going to try to start again, baby dragon. The exquisite Maiden of Earth sits in a lush garden at full harvest, radiantly at peace in her element. She is sacred form, embodying beauty, health, and wholeness. At home in the world, she cares for herself and others with intuitive wisdom. Living in harmony with nature, all of her life responds to her purity and radiates fruition and beauty back to her. She exemplifies oneness with the natural world and the ease and joy of being in cooperation with Mother Nature. Baby dragon, the Maiden of Earth is here to encourage you to embrace your beauty and your feelings. Honor your body's wisdom and know that you are one with Mother Nature in all of her facets. She reminds you that your true beauty shines forth as you are in harmony with the natural world and life force. Find your earthy intuitive center and move through your world as this Earth Maiden does with beauty and inner wisdom. I don't know if you feel attacked in any way, baby dragon, but I just feel like do you know how I feel? Max, it probably is. When I'm holding this card and thinking of your reading, I just hear people yelling at me. Like from everywhere, all around me. And it's not so much, maybe they're not yelling mean things, but like this one's yelling they need this, that one needs that, this one's telling you you're dumb, this one's calling you a failure. I don't know if this is actually happening or if this is you in your own head remembering times when people treated you poorly. Either way, baby dragon, any failures you might have are just steps closer to getting you to success. I feel like you have this urge to give up on something in your life right now that it would be a really bad decision to do so, but you can't see that because you can't see future events, right? All you know is right now, this is not working out for me. And you're thinking of all the times everyone told you it wasn't going to work out. And, everyone told you you're dumb for trying or like whatever. Like you are torturing yourself with remembering all the negative things people said. This is going to be hard, but I see the universe wants you to flip the script. Okay. Remember all the positive things people say. And remember how good it felt when you were successful at something or another. This is the universe telling you, just sit back, relax as best you can. In the next 2 weeks, do not make any major decisions about anything. Gather all the information. Only take or even only get, if possible, advice from people that you trust have your best interests at heart. If you're not 100% sure, if someone has your best interest at heart, don't ask them for advice and don't take their advice. This, in the next week or two, it's not a good time for you to be making rash decisions out of like snap judgments from like anger. I just feel a lot of aggression in you right now, which is unnatural because you're not an aggressive person, but it's like you're ready to blow. You're ready to snap, I should say. So, baby dragon, what I would do if I were you and this were my message, just to put it in perspective, I would sit back. I'm going to use your bakery as an example. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to use your bakery just as an example. Say that it's not making a lot of money right now and you thought it would be making a lot more. So you're ready to just call it quits because you don't have anything else to put into it. Don't do that yet. Take the next week, the next 2 to 3 weeks actually, and write down the pros and cons. Really think about how you can continue to move forward in whatever this is. Whatever I'm talking about right now, whether it's the bakery, a relationship, whatever it is not the right time for it to end. You still have success in whatever this is, if that makes sense. Melissa says, Gemma, you are a very wise woman. Thank you. Doing what you do and helping me like you have. You're a treasure. You guys are treasures because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. It would be Ghost and I just talking to each other over Fortnite like we always do. I love you guys. I care about all of you. I don't like arguing with you guys. I don't like when things get uncomfortable. And that's not just because of me protecting myself. It's because we're all a family here. And I want all of you guys to be happy and successful. Just like I would hope you all wish for me. You know, it's important. I have a lot of blood relation, but I don't have a lot of family. I don't have really any friends in real life. I have acquaintances. I have people I get along well with. One or two people I'd consider a friend, but nothing like the relationship I have with you guys. So I just want you guys to know that. Watch you talk about Fortnite. I put up one Fortnite video like months ago, like maybe last spring. It did okay.
I still think we should stream a game.
We should. We definitely should.
Really should.
Who's next?
You're
hey,
next.
Salvador. Happy holidays. Merry New Year. Happy New Year.
How you doing, Salvador? Good to see you. New England is next.
New England. I'm going to use the time traveler. Thank you, Black Dragon. I hope so. I'm going to take the card that popped out. Healing, card number 20. The Dream Temples of Asclepius, Greece. Guys, I want to go to Greece so bad. It's number 2 on my bucket list behind Ireland. Beneath the surface of your life, profound healing is occurring. Things in your life are being resolved. Trust that you are being guided as a natural healer. Know that everything in nature has the intrinsic ability to restore itself. Netter, listen up. This is important. You are part of nature, so you too have the innate ability to restore yourself. Remarkable healing is surging through every cell in your body and your life. Listen with your heart and act on your instincts. Have faith that everything is fine, all is well. Watch your dreams for secret messages that are there for you. And if you're open to it, healing. Look for signs in your life. If you feel drawn to go a particular way, even if it doesn't make sense to your mind, trust that feeling. In the past, following your hunches may have led you astray, but please don't let that keep you from trusting your intuition now. Often, with the perspective of time, the things that once seemed like mistakes can be viewed as having happened for your highest good and healing, which is absolutely true. You don't see the healing taking place right now because you're in a funk. You feel like things are like the same old same. You're always complaining. Like you're so jaded, and I'm used to that. I don't mind it. I'm not complaining about you. I love talking to you. I love being able to be there for you, and I vent to you a lot. I just kind of unload. I love our friendship, so I'm not criticizing you. But I do wish that you would have like a good day where you'd message me and say, Gems, I'm actually having a good day today, you know? That time will come. If you can look back and look at some negative things that happen that you feel might be part of the cause for the way you're feeling today or how lost you feel all the time, and like decipher something good that came out of those things. There's a reason you are where you are, experiencing what you are. But you have to put yourself out there. You have to let your instinct and intuition guide you, not your fear of past mistakes, or not thinking, like I said to someone earlier, about how I think it was Laura, how you failed in the past at something. If you failed at 5 relationships, it doesn't mean you're going to fail at the 6th. In fact, those 5 relationships helped you learn about relationships enough to where the 6th one might work. I'm not saying you failed at 5 relationships. I'm just using that as an example, right? You are going to be fine. But the faster you believe that, the quicker you can heal and you can move on from this very lonely and desperate time in your life. Oh, Max, anywhere I go, I try to vlog. So where'd you get them from, Netter? Hey, Divine. Who's next?
Well, you can go ahead and do Divine and then Black Dragon, unless, because he likes to be last, unless you want to do anybody else.
But
I'll leave that
Anna,
up
we
to you.
designed it that way. Did anyone not get a reading tonight that paid? And did anyone not get a reading that did not pay? I have a few extra I can give out. So if you want one, whether you paid or not, let me know. Last call for anyone who didn't get a reading and wants one. Divine, I am using Della and Wait.
So you timed that just right, Divine.
Yeah, you came in just in time.
So did Baby Dragon.
You got Dorothy Gale. Oh, Salvador, I bet. I'll get there someday. I know that I will. I'm 100% sure, actually. Dorothy Gale. Divine Empathic, I was boring in Gray, Kansas with my little dog Toto. A twister dropped my house into the magical land of Oz. The good witch Glinda told me to follow the yellow brick road to go to the Emerald City where the wizard lived. I met incredible people along the way. At the end of my adventures, I found out that I had the power to go back home just by clicking the heels of my magical ruby slippers, and also that home was, after all, the best place to be in. Sometimes you think you have to search far away what is just in your own backyard. Sometimes you have to be far away from home and far away from the ones you love to realize how much you love them. Discover new lands, follow colored brick roads, meet interesting people, but keep in mind that your true home is always where your heart is. Home is your only real quest. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And Netter, that kind of should resonate with you too. Max, if you want one, let me know. You don't want one? It's not a big deal. People paid extra to cover anyone who didn't want to or couldn't pay. Divine, listen. I feel like if you're not feeling it already, you're going to have some frustrations coming in the next week. And everyone has frustrations all the time, but I mean more so than usual. Okay, where you're like really in a state of regret over something or guilt, shame. There's something here surrounding a decision you made a long time ago that you're kind of beating yourself up for. I feel like someone else outside of you messes up somehow or does something bad, and you're so used to taking the blame for other people that you're putting what they're doing with their own life, through their own choices, and you're like somehow blaming yourself. You had nothing to do with why this person did what they did. And I feel like one of the reasons is because they put it on you. They're accusing you that it's your fault. I don't know what this is. This is really strange. I mean, I have an idea because I've read for you and we've talked privately. I think you know what it is too. If someone else messes up, it has nothing to do with you. That's like when people are like, well, I cheated because I felt neglected by you. No. I'm sorry. No. You can always talk to your significant other or leave them if you feel that bad and they're not going to help. Do you know what I mean? This is the universe reminding you how far you've come. Okay. Is this person even a part of your quote unquote home anymore? This person has no right to even be. I feel like you've given this person so much grace that I'm like offended for you. How dare you? That's what I keep hearing. How dare they? Like, it's the audacity for me. This card is reminding you how far you've come, how hard you've worked, and all the things you've done on your own with very minimal, if any, support and help. And especially not any from this person. You've got to do what you got to do. Do not be guilted into giving this person infinite chances or infinite grace. Grace can only get you so far as well. I feel like it's time, Divine, to really reevaluate your relationship with this person. I don't know if it's a family member, a friend, an ex, a partner, significant other. They're just getting way too involved. And I feel the sense of entitlement. When I peek into this person's energy, I just see them being like, that's mine, like your property. That's it. You have the ability now to walk away and do what's best for you and your daughter. And I feel like you know who this is about. If they haven't messed up, they're about to. Has nothing to do with you. I don't know how this person's going to get you to think it's on you. There might be like a little inkling in the back of your head, like, I feel bad because everybody makes mistakes. Yes, honey, it's a mistake the first time. It's a choice anytime after that. So don't let yourself be guilted with, you make mistakes too. Aren't I human? No, like boy, bye, girl, bye, they, bye. No. Because this is like this person's in of like, oh, well, she gave me another chance. So I must have an in her life. Cut this off at the head for reals. So Mike and Max do not want readings. Nobody else said anything. So let's do timestamps and then we'll do Black Dragon.
Max kind of did. You deserve to be compensated.
I think he said,
okay.
Don't give me a reading.
Well, he just wrote this. I'll let that up to you.
No, what I'm saying is there are people that send me extra. So the reading's $2, they'll send 10 so that I can read for people who might not have it tonight. So that's why I'm offering. So I'm going to read for you. It's perfectly fine. People do it every week. It's not a huge deal to me. It's more about me giving the messages than me making money. The money thing is just because I wasn't making anything. So I had to like do something, but it's not that serious. I know you guys all donate when you can, what you can, and I will never not give a reading for someone's inability to pay me. I'm not a great businesswoman. Even with like my store, when I first opened it up and started selling the perfumes, the manifestation intention sprays, I gave away an entire case of bottles, 25, for free samples. And I think like 3 people, if that, ordered another one. But I did it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm not complaining. That was my choice. But I don't like turning people away. Okay, well, I guess it's this card then, Max. I'm using the Aether Creatures. And of course, because of course it is, Max. I had to get this card. Thank you, local Squatch. Neelikahirvi. It's not only a strange word, it's like in that weird font. All right, let's check it out. It's in the upright position, card number 75. You guys are all very welcome. Thank you all for coming in, showing support. If you guys can, leave a comment. I used to think you could just leave like an emoji and that would be fine. It's actually 7 items, so 7 emojis, 7 words. That is what YouTube takes as interaction. Okay, the Neelikahirvi. When Neelikahirvi appears to you right side up, do not enter into conflict at this time or in this situation. Do as this creature, I'm going to call it, does and be more laid back. Go with the flow and relax. Keeping the peace in this situation is important. There may be a time and place to address a conflict directly or to willingly enter into a conflict, but that time is not now. The Neelikahirvi think that when it comes to a fight, no one wins and no one gains. In this case, specifically at this time, they happen to be right. So, Max, I do feel like, all right, hold on. I do feel like someone's trying to purposely draw you into conflict. It's like they either see you moving on or they see that like, I'm going to use an ex as an example just because that's the easiest way to put this. So your ex sees you moving on or sees you with someone else or sees you not as sad. They're like stalking your social media. So they want to draw you back in, right? How dare he not care about me anymore? How dare he be moving on? How dare he, this person that you're dealing with here or these people, it doesn't have to be an ex. That was just an example. They're pretty toxic. They're trying to draw you in to like this argument, this, even if it's not like a physical altercation or verbal, even it's some sort of conflict. They're trying to F with you. They just flat out don't like you because your light irritates their demons. Okay. You're so welcome, Edna. Feel better, please. There is going to be no reasoning with these people or this person. There's no finding common ground. It's best to ignore these people. And trust me, they're going to get to you to the point where you want to snap. Do not do that. That is exactly what they're waiting for you to do, right? They're trying to like purposefully, like say you're going to get a contract with somebody to do work for them. They're like purposely going to lowball you because they know it's going to piss you off. All right. Stay away from toxic negative energies and people like this. Do your best to distract yourself. Don't feel bad about saying no. Like I wouldn't recommend going out to like a bar in the next 2 weeks. I wouldn't recommend going somewhere where like you don't know most of the people, where things might be unfamiliar. There might be unfamiliar people. I just feel a lot of conflict being aimed at you, but it's out of the fact that you carry yourself well, whether you realize it or not. And your light is irritating these people's demons. They want to see you fail. They want to see you snap. They want to see you in trouble. They want to see you lose. I don't know who this is or why they would be this hateful towards you. Don't give into it. Don't give your any energy away to this situation, to these people, to this person at all. Keep it moving, and they'll be done with you by the next 2 to 3 weeks because they'll get bored and move on to the next person. If this is an ex-partner, I would say be even more careful because this is a psychopathic energy. I see them stalking through like any social medias you might have. Sorry, my wig is itching my underarm. Any social medias you may have. Someone is like looking for dirt on you, trying to like get you in trouble. Now you can avoid this altogether and come back and be like, Gems, I don't know what you're talking about because that never happened. That would be great. That would mean you followed your instincts. You didn't get involved in anything crazy and you just kept to yourself for the next 2 weeks. Doesn't mean you have to be completely alone. But it does mean you should watch the company that you keep. I'm sorry. I know this is so gross. I'm scratching my underarm, but it itches so bad from the hair. Okay. Who's next?
Well, that's pretty much it. Mike never did answer me, so unless somebody else wants one, Black Dragon.
Local Squatch says, I feel like this is my reading. I had to talk to HR today about a bunch of fake accusations. People love to hate. That's exactly what it is. And it resonates with you, then it is your reading. That means you're in the energy of it. And that's what I tell people. If you come in here and either you don't want a reading or you can't get a reading or you feel like you can't get one, feel like it's not the right time, just listen in. We had like 20, maybe 25 people in here tonight, maximum. Within 4 hours, this will have 125 views. People just come in and listen and they take what resonates and they leave what doesn't. And I think that's the best way. That's one of the best things about doing Oracle Live is that everyone will get messages. As I'm reading, I get my own messages. And I'm like, going casually, like going through this, like, oh man, this reading resonates with me too. Now I know what to do. All right, Black Dragon. I'm going to use Cowgirls and Aliens.
We got her, Blue. We got her down for a time.
I never forget Tennille. That's my sister.
And KC too.
And Miss KC, yes. I think that's it on timestamps, right?
Yes.
Guys, don't forget Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, people who had standoffs with extraterrestrial/interdimensionals. This case from summer of 1981 in Rome, Ohio is insane. I have 8,000 words written and I'm still not even halfway done. That's why I had to do a part 2.
Actually, it's one of the most famous cases here.
Part 2 will be done next Monday. What?
Actually, it's one of the most famous cases here.
It is pretty famous. I didn't realize it when I first started working on it, but it's in several books. It's a very well-known case. I mean, these creatures, and there were several different types of them, they terrorized this family for years. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give a preview short, which I'm going to film right after this if I have time, and set it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. Black Dragon, you got the Highwayman, card number 17. I am determined and I will keep trying. I'm getting Mythic Heroes Oracle deck. So I have so many decks, Dark Goddess, Woman Witch, Woman in Total Control of Herself, like all of these very feminine Lantern Oracle decks that I can't use for the men. So now I'm going to have one that's a masculine deck that I probably won't ever be using for the women. I'm excited about that. Black Dragon, the stagecoach skids to a halt. A single mounted rider blocks the way. The coach horses are agitated, whinnying and stomping. From the coach, passengers cry out with worry. The rider has come out of nowhere, her hair flying and bandana up around her face, but they know exactly who she is. Her reputation precedes her. She dismounts and points her ray gun at the passengers inside. Your money or your life, sirs and misses, and I ain't gonna say it again. The Highwayman is utterly determined. Once she makes up her mind, no matter the odds, she'll run in guns blazing before anyone else even blinked. Nothing will stop her from reaching her dreams, even if that means holding up every coach on this side of the solar system. The Highwayman inspires us to take charge of our situation and create our own destiny. If you've been hesitating before starting something, the Highwayman card says it's time to embrace her ambitious mindset and see if you can make things happen for yourself, regardless of luck or innate talent. With perseverance and tenacity, you'll get to where you want to go. With your sheer determination and grit, no stagecoach will be safe from your plunder. Be clear on what your dreams are and why they're important. This will help you keep a determined attitude about reaching them. When you next face failure and disappointment, instead of giving up, use it as motivation to do even better next time. Get back on the horse and show them how amazing you can be. So, Black Dragon, I just feel like this is telling you to keep moving forward regardless of perceived failure. So there's something here that you either are right now or you're about to really want to try to achieve, obtain, attain, etc. But there are like so many obstacles between you and this ultimate goal that it's like sometimes you're not even thinking about trying, right? Trying to achieve it or reach it. And then there are other times where you can't imagine not someday doing this. It might be something you're working on right now. Latro, depends how much money I have, right? I said to someone before, all of your past failures, even if they were all in the same area, they're just stepping stones to your eventual success. This is just the universe. I don't know what this is. It's kind of vague what they're showing me. This kind of always happens at the end as I start to like energetically drain a little bit. But this is like, keep going no matter what. And particularly don't listen to naysayers. I feel like there are people in your life that care about you, so they have your best interest at heart, but they're giving you well-meaning advice, but it's not good advice. Their advice is like, try something different, or maybe this just isn't for you. Like whatever this is you have your sights set on can definitely be for you if you put in enough hard work and stop listening to what others say. Even if they're not actually saying it, I feel like you're thinking like, what would so-and-so think? May or may not be the case. This is a bit of a vague reading. If you have a goal in mind, even if it's something small that you want to achieve, no matter how many steps you feel are between you and that goal, now is the time to act on it. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, within a week or two, if an opportunity comes in for you to do something you've always wanted to do, or to be a part of something you were always interested in, jump right on it. No procrastination allowed in the next week or two when it comes to opportunities and goals. All right, Miss Lotus, I'm going to use Forest Spirits Oracle card. This was a beautiful Christmas gift from Miss Jules. Rabbit Spirit, quick result. Move swiftly to realize your dreams and adapt to new situations with grace. Lotus, what I actually feel is going on here is just like, instead of dwelling on something negative that's happening, you're getting to the point of radical acceptance and of understanding that whatever this is was meant to happen this way for a higher purpose, for your own higher purpose. And Porky's, there's something going on right now, and I think I know what it is, but it could be something different, where you just feel, I've said this so many times tonight, hopeless, helpless. Like, how do I prove myself, right? Or how do I fix this? There is no way. The only thing you can do is watch this play out and give everyone involved grace. Don't aim hatred or toxicity or negative thoughts or feelings towards people to the best of your ability. All right? Because everything that's about to happen, and no, these people involved that are doing you dirty, they don't realize they're helping in your overall general eventual highest good, but that's exactly what they're doing. They are setting you up, making you feel trapped in a situation, hopeless, helpless, so that once you move out of it and keep moving forward and never look back, you are on the right path to your destiny. I know things suck right now. I know it feels like, why is this happening to us? There's nothing I can do. It's so frustrating. I get that. I can't imagine how you're feeling, particularly with one situation. It makes me angry, and I'm not even involved. You have got to keep quiet. Don't allow Porky's to lose it. The calmer you stay, the more grace you offer, the quicker you're going to get to your eventual higher place, your eventual place where you need and want to be. All right. You will achieve a goal. It's going to take a lot longer and it's going to be a lot more of a pain in the butt. Miss Casey, last reading for the night. I am going to use angels and ancestors because I know this is your favorite deck as well. The moon. Take note of intuitive messages. So I want to say with the moon, there are secrets being kept. You do not have the entire story. I know that much. It's also big Cancer energy, but it's also our energy, Pisces sun energy. Use your intuition, practice discernment, see through illusions and blockages. The moon is strongly associated with the divine feminine and the energy of receiving. If the sun is God, the moon is goddess, and so she offers a powerful energy of polarity and balance. She has the cyclic energy and is therefore strongly connected to emotions, which often come and go in waves, and to somewhat interesting behavior. So when the moon appears in a reading, you're often being told that not everything is as it seems in the moment. At the moment, Jesus. The moon has a dark side, just dark, not negative, and can show you what you've been kept in the dark about. Lunar energies are surrounding your life, allowing you to understand what is standing in your way. Not everything is as it seems, and you're being guided to use your discernment. When the moon appears, intuitive or psychic urges are increased, so take note of any feelings arriving at this time. They are messages from your soul and your angels. The moon shines her light on all that has been kept in the dark. So ask yourself if you're avoiding anything or refusing to deal with something of importance. If so, it could be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. If this card appears when you feel someone isn't being completely real with you, know that their intentions will be revealed. The moon has no secrets. She reveals all. So Casey, I've got a couple of messages here. The first one, if you think someone is not telling you all of the truth or not telling you the truth at all, you are absolutely right. You have no tangible evidence of that. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do or say anything. You don't need to confront. You don't even need to ask them about it, because within the next 2 weeks, they're going to tell on themselves. They're going to be revealed. And then you can decide from there which way to go in that situation. Now, this is you really trying to come to terms with and process a lot of emotions right now. Okay. There was also something else that stuck out to me. Let me just get back to the card for a second, because I want to make sure I get this. Your psychic awareness, right? Your intuition. You have been blocked from it a little bit because of your grief wall from the passing away of your husband. This is you opening back up to that, opening yourself back up to receive. And the way you do this is just by not making peace with the situation, because you're not there yet. And, no judgment on that. It takes people a different amount of time. But just coming to terms with, okay, this is my life now. I've got to figure out what to do. I also feel like there are people, and I just said this to someone else, but it's like they have your best interest at heart, but they're not acting like it. It's like they're giving you such bad advice, telling you things like, it'll get better. Like these random cliched quotes. And I feel like that could be making you even more emotional, because it's like, why isn't anyone trying to understand me? This is where you need to follow in the next 2 weeks, your instinct, your intuition. Go wherever you're drawn. And we talked about this with your personal. Don't let anyone talk you out of doing something you're doing. You are doing the right thing for you at this time. Whatever that means for the future, we'll have to wait till the future gets here. For right now, though, nobody should be trying to convince you not to do something you want to do. You're a grown adult. If there's money involved, it's your own money. Like, nobody has the right to tell you that. Keep doing what you're doing. Your instinct and intuition are really, really on point in the next 2 weeks. So if you feel like someone's being dishonest, they are. If you feel like someone doesn't understand, they don't. And someone is keeping a huge secret from you. I wasn't sure in the beginning, definitely sure now. And they're purposefully keeping it from you. I feel like because they feel like they're protecting you, but in reality, it's something that they definitely should be telling you. Guys, I do not even want to talk anymore. I'm going to film the short for the video for Monday. I'm going to grab some homemade turkey soup. And then if I have time, I'm going to play some Fortnite because I got to get up at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow too, because little man's first basketball game is at 8 o'clock, which is the same time he would be getting on his bus. So it's just like a school day. Pain in the butt. I love you guys so much. It was so good to be back. So good to see you guys. Thank you all who sent me Christmas gifts and who helped me pay for the holidays and get through. Guys, please donate as much as you can to PayPal, Cash App, or Ghostdragonzw's Venmo. I really would appreciate it. I'm flat broke. This is the only money I make. Other than that, please be in the premiere or at least watch after if you can. Leave a comment, share out. 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be talking about standoffs and attacks from extraterrestrials / interdimensionals. And I'm going to put that preview out in the next hour or so, within the next hour or so. And then I'll see you next week right here for Live Intuitive Oracle. Thank you, Divine. Thanks, guys.